Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rounds Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We are giving English reports on the game being played in hopes that English-speaking fans around the globe can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Tonight, we are going to bring you the starting lineups. We're first going to do that with the visiting Saitama Seibu Lions. Leading off and playing in center field wearing number 46 is Shohei Suzuki. Batting second and playing shortstop wearing number 6 is Sosuke Genda. Batting third and left field wearing number 30 is Brian O'Grady. In the cleanup spot wearing number 60 is Takiya Nakamura. Batting fifth and playing third base tonight wearing number 39 is Nin Ting Wu. Batting sixth and playing first base wearing number 33 is Jansen Witt. Batting seventh and playing second base wearing number 5 is Shuda Tonosaki. Batting eighth and in right field wearing number 68 is Junichiro Kishi. Batting ninth and doing the catching wearing number 38 making his NPB debut is Shoya Makino. And they are going to be facing Takayuki Kishi, who heads to the mound tonight without a win-loss record. He pitched 6 innings in his first start. He gave up 4 hits, 1 run earned, walking 3 and striking out 7. And now the starting lineup for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Leading off and playing in left field wearing number 6 is Haruki Nishikawa. Batting second and playing shortstop wearing number 34 is Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Batting third and playing second base wearing number 3 is Hideto Asamura. In the cleanup spot and playing in a right field wearing number 35 is Hiroki Shimochi. Batting fifth and playing first base wearing number 7 is Daichi Suzuki. Batting sixth and playing third base wearing number 48 is Yoshiari Watanabe. Batting seventh and doing the designated hitting wearing number 12 is Jose Marmoleos. Batting eighth and in center field wearing number 8 is Ryosuke Tatsumi. And batting ninth and doing the catching wearing number 26 is Jinjiro Simitani. And they are going to be facing Wataru Matsumoto. He takes to the hill tonight for the Lions with a 1-0 record. He went 5 2/3 in his season debut, allowing 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned, walking 2 and striking out 4. We have a few people in the house tonight. We got Gucci Rari in the house. He's back. Appreciate you being here. I got also Troy in the house. And, of course, he's pumped because we got Austin Meadows, and that would be the Detroit Tigers. And absolutely we did. Excited to have Meadows as part of the fold in the Motor City. And also, too, in the house tonight, we've got ourselves, well, that's everybody right there. And we're glad you guys are here. I just want to point out to you that I gave some predictions on our site today. So if you go and you take a look at our community page, I said, hey, let's get in on the action. So I gave the predictions on who I think is going to win tonight, a little mini report on each one as to why. So we're going to see how we fare tonight as we do get a lot of gamblers in here. Kenneth Austin says the Lions are due for a win. Absolutely. Troy's Cards and Cars says he saw those predictions. So let's see if they're going to come true tonight. We'll wake up tomorrow morning and see which ones I nailed and which ones I whiffed on. But I'm hoping I can get at least 4 or 6 because that would be a good start to the predictions. Well, everybody, Takayuki Kishi has completed his warm-up tosses, and now we're about ready to get this one underway. It's going to be Shohei Suzuki, Sosuke Genda, and Brian O'Grady to get things going tonight. We're ready for the first pitch of the ball game. It's a beautiful sunny day in Tohoku. And here we go. We're going to get this one underway. And the first pitch is a fastball. Take it for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Kenneth Austin says, what's the website? It's on our community page of our YouTube channel. There's a fastball delivered, and it is a called strike that's taken on the outside corner. And the count is quickly 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Kishi ready to go back to work, and there is a fastball that is just off the outside corner. That pitch looked eerily similar to the one before that was called a strike. And the count is now 1-2. So if you go to our homepage, For last Raps baseball, there's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Suzuki for the first out of the inning. And that is 1 up and 1 away. That brings up Suzuki Genda. So if you go to the homepage, if you go to our homepage or you're on it, and you click on our stuff, you'll see across the top, it'll say like home, videos, about us, community. If you click on the community page, you'll see that there is an article there with I think it was, we used Nori Aoki as our picture guy today. And there's a fastball delivered to Suzuki Genda. He takes it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. For Suzuki Genda on the season, he's hitting .273. He's got no homers and no RBIs. There's a fastball that misses off the inside corner, and the count is 1-1. He is working fast, and it is full speed ahead. There's a fastball again delivered, and it's just off the outside corner, and it's now 2-1 to Genda. Kishi does not give you a lot of time to take a breath. He delivers again. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. Moving over to the foul line is the left fielder, Nishikawa. He's going to make the catch on the run. That's going to retire Genda for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to Brian O'Grady. Hayden Hetland says he's got the Golden Eagles winning by 2+. So here comes Kishi ready to go back to work, and there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. For O'Grady, he's hitting .270 in the early season with no homers and 3 RBIs. Kishi ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion, he kicks, and he delivers, and there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. What's interesting about Kishi is they've got the white uniforms with the maroon trim, but he's got this baby, well, a little brighter than a baby blue glove. Kind of looks almost out of place. And there's a fastball that's upstairs. O'Grady checks his swing. They appeal down to third. And they said he didn't go, and the count is now 1-2. Ricky Reg says, what's your website link? If you go to our YouTube community page, there's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into center field. It's going to get down in front of Ryosuke Tatsumi for a base hit. And O'Grady is aboard with a single. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter, Takia Nakamura. We got Alexander Leggett in the house. Welcome. So as we said, if you go to the YouTube homepage for us, if you go to the community section, that's where we wrote the article. The article is there with regards to who we think are going to win the games tonight. I'll give you some information from there. So the best way I could describe it is once you get to the YouTube channel, if you're subscribed to our channel, just click on it. Across the top, you'll see home, videos, playlists, community. The first pitch delivered to Takia Nakamura is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So just as Kishi works quickly when there are runners, no runners on base, he works rather slowly when we do have runners on. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats on the first base side, and the count goes to 1-1. So once you click on that community tab, you'll be able to see it says who you got, and you have to just click on it for more. For us, in this game here, we believe that the Golden Eagles are going to win tonight. But stay tuned. We'll have to wait and see. I think Kishi is the difference maker in this one. And there's a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted into right center field. Moving over to his left is the center fielder, Tatsumi. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here in the top half of the first innings. So for the Saitama Seibu Lions in their half of the first, there was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Through a half inning, it is the Seibu Lions, nothing the Tohoku Rakuten Eagles coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. The call at the bottom of the first inning. We're glad you guys could make it in tonight. Another great night for baseball. Welcome back, everybody. The right-hander, Taru Matsumoto, is just completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to get this one back underway. It's going to be the top of the order coming up for the Golden Eagles. That means it's going to be Haruki Nishikawa, Tsuyoshi Yamazaki, and Hideru Asamura. The top three hitters in the batting order. For Nishikawa, he's batting .208 with no homers and 3 RBIs. Nishikawa is in his first season with the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. He had spent the last number of years, in fact, he spent pretty much all of his career with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. He is now here in a Tohoku lineup, and here's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the third base line. It's going to reach the seats. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Something I've learned today by the official rules of Japanese baseball, which I don't know if I necessarily believe or I've seen. And there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. And it was coming from the Did You Know section. People were asking about rules and nuances in the Japanese league. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count's now 2-1. And that is that when pitchers are throwing from the stretch position, they have a balk rule and a 3-second rule. Balks will be called on pitchers who fail to come to a complete stop for at least 3 seconds before coming to a plate. I find that to be a little bit bizarre. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count now is 3-1. I can understand where pitchers come set and they hold the ball, but for 3 seconds, typically the rule of thumb is, it used to be in the major leagues, they used to say a discernible stop. Well, that's changed a little bit. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul over the third base dugout. But I always like to teach pitchers to hold for at least a 1 count. Sometimes as much up to 4, because you're trying to freeze runners from running. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Matsumoto rocks into the motion. He delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away. And Nishikawa has himself a leadoff walk here in the first inning. So Nishikawa is aboard with the leadoff single. That is going to bring up Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Alexander Leggett says Nishikawa looking like he's going to have a good day. Well, Nishikawa is going to have to get some things going. He's only has that .208 batting average. He needs to be the table setter for the Golden Eagles. That brings up Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Yamazaki is hitting .095 on the season. He's got no homers and no RBIs. The one thing you'll notice about the Golden Eagles lineup is they are loaded with left-handed hitters. Of course, the exception would be Asamura, who's waiting on deck, but you go through this lineup and they always can roll out lefty after lefty after lefty. So here's the first pitch from Matsumoto. It's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As we said, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day in Tohoku. And here's the pitch from Matsumoto. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-0. Our friend Troy is in the house tonight. He is north of Detroit. And Troy, I know you said the other night that he's behind me in years, so obviously I got a chance to see most of my Tiger games at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull at Old Tiger Stadium. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and there's a fastball that misses down, and the count's now 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Yamazaki. And so one of the things that I used to remember going to the old ballpark at Tiger Stadium was the great hot dogs. They used to have high grades ballpark franks. They plumped when you cook them. Here comes the 3-0 pitch from Matsumoto. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Well, Comerica Park hot dogs, I detest. I'm not a big fan of the Comerica Park hot dog. But if you ever get a chance to get to Little Caesars Arena, I saw the Nashville Predators play the Detroit Red Wings about 3 years ago. And I got to tip my hat and say they have some of the best hot dogs that you can get at a game. They fry them up for you, and they get them on the bun, and they got the bun nice and hot because they put the bun on top of the hot dogs. It's pretty good stuff. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Yamazaki waits on the delivery from Matsumoto. Matsumoto fires over to first base, and getting back barely in time is the base runner Nishikawa. He almost got him going the wrong way. So 3 balls and 1 strike. The crowd is got their thunder sticks going into Tohoku, looking to get on the board early. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the game has begun with back-to-back walks. Yamazaki is aboard. He goes to first. The runner Nishikawa advances to second, and that brings the catcher out to have a chat with his pitcher. Troy says he definitely wants to make some Pistons games next year. When I get back east at the end of August this year, I see the Mariners and the Royals be in town when I'm in Detroit. So I'm going to try to catch about 4 of the 8 games that are in that series. So I'm really looking forward to being able to get to Comerica Park a few times in Detroit. I might even take a day and make a run to Cleveland to, I'm not sure what they call it now, Progressive Field, I think. So here's Hideo Asamura at the plate. The runners are at first and second, and he's standing in. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that is called a strike. As they said, Asamura did pull the trigger. So the count is 0-1. Asamura is hitting .276 on the season. He's got no homers and 3 RBIs. His production fell off last year after he drove in over 100 runs 2 seasons ago. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined over the head of the second baseman. It's going to get down. That's going to get 1 run in. And that is going to, looks like it's going to be able to get the runner all the way over to third. So the Eagles are going to have runners on the corners. And they still have something brewing. So Asamura with a single and an RBI. Nishikawa comes all the way home from a second base. And he is getting the fist pumps and the praise from his teammates. So he is aboard at first. Yamazaki is all the way around to third. And that brings up Hiroki Shimouchi. So Shimouchi stands in on the left side. He first pitches a fastball swung on and fouled away over the third base dugout. The count is 0-1. Troy said when he went to Petco Park, they had way better food than Comerica. I have been to Petco. I was down. I saw the Nationals and the Cubs a few years ago. And the thing that they had at Petco that I was impressed with the most was a seafood burrito. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. And there's a fastball that's upstairs. Shimouchi checks his swing, but he didn't go around enough to offer, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ricky Reg says, have I ever been to Philadelphia? I have. I've been to the Old Vet. And there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. I have to apologize because I can't remember the 2 places for the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. I did have a Philly cheesesteak when I was in Philadelphia, not just one. You can't just have one, you have to have a couple. And I think they're right across the street from each other. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-2. That was at the Old Vet. It would have been in about 1997. I saw Kurt Schilling pitch for the Phillies, and they played the Astros that day, and they won 3-1. I don't know who went for the Astros. I can't remember. But I do remember Jeff Bagwell hitting a home run that was on an absolute laser to left field. The only run for the Astros. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away by Shimouchi. The count remains at 2-2. Yeah, Ricky says Pat's and Geno's are the landmark cheesesteak. That's exactly who it was. I went to one of them. I think it was Pat's. Went to Pat's. They're right across the street, I guess, from one another, or as they are. The best way to describe it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped over toward the third base dugout, but it is just going to reach the seats. There's a lot of real estate in foul territory at many of the parks in Japan. You almost need to have a track athlete behind the plate when you take off. It is, what I would say, not fan-friendly. Sometimes you get to some parks, for those of you who might remember the old Appalachian League, and you get right on top of stuff. Just looking at some of the other ones here, I'm reading some of the names here. Turner Field, the Cheeseburger Pizza. I've never had that. In fact, I've never been to Turner Field down in Atlanta, or what was in Atlanta. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away by Shimouchi, and the count remains at 2-2. Shimouchi is one of the most dangerous hitters in the Eagles lineup. He's hitting .308 this year. But more importantly, last year in the playoffs, he was very, very potent. He was a very tough hitter to get out for the Golden Eagles. Veteran, real savvy, real patient at the plate. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The way this is starting to work out for Matsumoto, it is going to be trouble for the Lions if he can't eat up some innings here. They had to use their bullpen a little bit last night. So I'm curious to see who is available and who's not tonight. Already at the 22nd pitch coming up now to Shimouchi. Here comes the 3-2. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And he is going to be retired for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Daichi Suzuki. The food I like best when I get down to Seattle, normally I go down and see the Mariners play because that's now the closest team to where I'm at. The best food there is their nachos, and I like you can get pulled pork nachos, or you can get chicken on your nachos. And they put all the toppings on it and everything else. It's a top drawer one. They also have some pretty good sausages there, but a lot of people like the garlic fries. I find the garlic fries are great for the first half dozen, and then they start to get soggy. And there's a fastball delivered to Suzuki. Takes it for a called strike on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Troy says, I left too late and the stand was closed. Personal pan pizzas. So here we are back to the action. There's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. The count goes even to 1-1 on Suzuki. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit into right field. It's down for a base hit. 1 run is in. Asamura is on his way to third. And that is going to be a double for Suzuki. So he picks up where he left off last night. He had 3 hits in the ball game last night. Here he gets a hit and an RBI. That is going to knock in a Yamazaki for the second run of the inning. So with a double, Suzuki is on second, and Asamura goes all the way around to third, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yoshiaki Watanabe. Troy was saying the Mariners look like they might be good next year. Robbie Ray's a good pitcher. They did announce that Julio Rodriguez has made the team. Their outfield is loaded. They made some acquisitions by getting Eugenio Suarez from the Reds. got Jesse Winker. You added Adam Frazier, who was an all-star from the Pirates last year, who went to San Diego. The only thing I would say their weakness is behind the plate a little bit. So here we are. Here's the first pitch to Watanabe. It is a split finger pitch. That ball's hit into left field. It's caught by O'Grady. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's not going to be in time. Asamura is going to score. That is going to be a sacrifice fly to 7. So now there are 2 out. And the base runner, Suzuki, had to stay at second. That is going to bring up the designated hitter, Jose Marmolejos. Marmolejos is the DH. He was with the Seattle Mariner organization last year. There's a couple of players in this game who did spend time with the M's. Marmolejos was the MVP of the AAA league last year in minor league baseball. The other player is Jansen Witt, who is wearing the opposing team's colors for the Seibu Seibu Lions tonight. So here comes the first pitch to Marmolejos. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned, if you're interested to see what our picks were tonight, go check out our community page on the YouTube channel. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. So Troy's Cards and Cars says Robbie Ray could have been good ace for the D-backs. Remember, he came to the D-backs from the Tigers. I'm sure Detroit would like to have him back too. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2 to Marmolejos. This is going to be the 30th pitch of the inning. It's the right-hander Matsumoto ready to go back to work. He's set at the chest, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it here in the first inning for the Golden Eagles. There was a lot of damage that was done. In this inning here, it was walks that set the table for the Eagles, and it was their base hits that pounded them in. In this inning, there were 3 runs in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're through 1 complete inning. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, the Seibu Seibu Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the second inning in just a couple moments. We're glad you could be here with us tonight. Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Drafts Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. And the starting pitcher, Takayuki Kishi, has completed his warm-up tosses as we're ready to get the second inning underway. It's going to be Nin-Ting Wu, Jansen Witt, and Shuta Tanasaki to get things going for the Lions. Last night, Nin-Ting Wu hit a home run in the 9th inning, and he gets the start tonight. Takes a first pitch changeup inside, and the count is 1-0. For Wu, he is batting .286 on the season with that homer and RBI that he got last night. There's the pitch from Kishi. It's the fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball, and that is lifted foul behind the third base side of home plate. The count now goes to 1-2. Ricky Reggs, who's in the house, some of you may not see in the chat, he is listening to us on Twitch. He says, what site or how do you view the NPB games? Our friend Alexander Leggett, who is in here, but he may not be here right now, has been posting links. Not links, but giving information. We can't post the links. There's a fastball delivered to Wu that is swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Wu for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Jansen Witt. So at some point tonight, or a couple of times tonight, you will see that popped into the chat. You'll be able to pick that up from there and be able to give you that information. So Witt steps up to the plate. He's hitting .071 on the season. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. He takes a first pitch, a changeup off the outside corner for a ball 1 to Witt. So 1-0. So Kishi goes back to work. He rocks into the motion. He delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. And so here we are back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that falls in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So Ricky, I know you're on Twitch, but if you pop into the YouTube stream, if you've got a chance to be able to do it that way, you can see that. Usually, as I said, Alexander will pop it in. So there's not a whole lot of messages that sometimes go on Twitch. There is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now is 2-2. Troy says, you seem to be good at calling games. How long have you been calling games for? Started doing it a little bit last year. If you go back and listen to some of the early ones, it was a bit of more of a dirge and a challenge, but I think we've got it down to where I like it now. And there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into center field. Moving over to his left is the center fielder, Tatsumi. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Witt for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to leave it up to Shuda Tonosaki. So Alexander Leggett says, tell Twitch users to DM Fluby Curse for a link and a sub. So Tonosaki steps up to the plate. He's hitting a .129 with no homers and no RBIs. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. Gucci Rari says, will this game go over 8.5? There's a breaking ball that's taken down for a ball, and the count is 2-0. I got to say, this home plate umpire tonight, even in the last inning, had kind of squeezed Matsumoto, and it looks like Kishi's getting the similar treatment here. There's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Moving back on it is Asamura. He makes the catch and puts it away, and that is going to do it here in the top half of the second inning. So for the Seibu Seibu Lions, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We got people now checking us in on Twitch. Appreciate you guys there. That is it for the Lions in their half of the second inning. Your score is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, the Seibu Seibu Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're glad you could be here with us tonight. Thanks for being here. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to check out his channel.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Straps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie and Last Straps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold. We have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes, and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Reps Baseball.
Appreciate you, Steve, and we appreciate your support of the channel. Here we go back to the bottom of the second inning, and the first pitch from Matsumoto is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. It is Ryosuke Tatsumi, Jinjiro Sumitani, and then the top of the order, Nishikawa, to face the right-hander, and there's a fastball delivered. It is swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Coming in underneath it is the left fielder O'Grady, and he's going to make the grab. That is one up and one away here in the bottom of the second. We got Nash in the house tonight. Welcome back, Nash. If I remember correctly, he is our friend from Alberta. Alberta, Canada, north of the border. So Jinjiro Sumitani steps to the plate. He's hitting .083 on the season. Gets the nod behind the plate tonight. And there is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. Based on that swing, you can kind of see that that's why he's hitting .083. Stephen R. says the commentary pairs well with his Japanese homework. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Thanks for that, Stephen. We're glad you're in the house tonight. I asked people last night, drop us a note where you're from. We always enjoy to hear that. And here's a breaking ball swung on, and it's cued foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. My voice is a little bit raspy tonight. I just got off the field about an hour and change ago, working with some youngsters. So there's the fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. I'm going to have to make some decisions if I'm going to call some of these late night games. I'm definitely going to get some weekend games in here, and we'll update that on the channel. There's a fastball swung on and fouled over onto the right field foul line side, well beyond first base. That keeps the count at 1-2. We will be definitely Friday night North American time and Saturday North American time calling games. There's a fastball swung on, and that is fouled away. The count remains at 1-2 to Sumitani. Nash said he saw the community post. We offered up our thoughts to get a lot of people that were asking who I thought is going to win. So I posted up today. I gave you the thoughts of all the games from around the NPB. Alexander Leggett says you should switch to KBO because you wake up very early instead of staying up late. I'm not a morning guy. I don't mind staying up late. Plus, by the time I get home, I'm usually kind of wound up. Just got in the door about an hour or so ago, and it's a good way to wind down. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's a split finger pitch in the dirt. The count now goes to 3-2 to Sumitani. Sumitani's got a lot of body armor on the left side. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and it is a breaking ball that misses down and away. That is going to be ball 4. Sumitani is aboard with a leadoff walk. That's the third walk here in 2 innings issued by Matsumoto. Nash said he saw the community post. So if you're on our YouTube page, you can access that by going to once you get to our homepage, you'll see home, videos, playlists, community across the top. When you click on the community, there's an article there. It's got the preview is of Nori Aoki, but we give our thoughts on all 6 games tonight. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nishikawa. Haruki Nishikawa today is officially 0-0. He walked and scored a run his first time up. He bats from the left side against the right-hander Matsumoto. Matsumoto kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So for those of you who are interested or would like to know, we did pick the Golden Eagles tonight. Also picked the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters to beat the Marines tonight. We went on a village there. I think the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks are going to win again. Certainly those teams in the Pacific League. And here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball taken on the inside corner. The count goes to 1-2. Over in the Central League, my picks are the Murray Giants to beat the Carp tonight, the Stars to knock off the Tigers, and the Swallows to beat the Dragons. You guys are looking for point spreads. Well, I don't know if I could do that for you because it's tough enough just to pick the game straight up. So here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it is O'Grady. He makes the catch. And coming back to first base is Simatani. It's a long out for Nishikawa. It's the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Nash says he's so excited for Thursday. MLB's been gone for far too long. And he just found out that Julio Rodriguez is going to be the opening day lineup. Absolutely, J-Rod makes the team for the Mariners. Lots to be excited about in the Emerald City. So Yamazaki steps in. He, too, is 0 for 0 tonight. He walked and scored a run his first time up, and he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Stephen R. says he's listening from Colorado, and he's rooting for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. So here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side, and the count is 0-2. Gucciarari says he just saw the page and he would have taken the Eagles early if I would have saw that. Yeah, I definitely think that the Eagles are going to win this one. And I would even say that the Seibu Seibu Lions are in rough shape pitching-wise. There's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yamazaki. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted in the shallow left field. Backing up on it is the shortstop Genda. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it. That is the third out of the inning. And just before we go to the break here, for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard through 2 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, the Saitama Seibu Lions nothing. Ziggs HD asked the question, what's the bullpen for the Lions like? All I'm going to say is not too good and overused. So that is where they stand. That's my opinion. All right, guys, I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Stay tuned. We're glad you're here with us tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top half of the third inning. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for Seibu. That means it's going to be Junichiro Kishi, Shoya Makino, and Shohei Suzuki to face the right-hander Teyuki Kishi. Kishi so far has been sharp in his 2 innings of work. He's only allowed the 1 hit to Brian O'Grady. And he's struck out 2 and has had some help from his defense. So here comes the first pitch to Kishi. It's taken for a ball outside. So this is the battle of the Kishis. Junichiro at the plate and Takayuki on the mound. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kishi has batting .308 on the season. He's got no homers, no RBIs, and he takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count now is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitcher, Kishi, goes back to work. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike at the knees. Junichiro Kishi stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1. That is going to bring up the catcher, Shoya Makino. Have to give a lot of props to the catcher, Simatani there. He did a good job of getting underneath the baseball and establishing the frame for the called third strike. So here we go back to the live action, and the first pitch is a split finger. That is taken low for a ball, ball 1. For Makino, he is making his NPB debut tonight. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-1. Dylan Vero says, I have the over of 6.5 runs for this game. That's probably a good pick because the over was 6.5. I'm a little surprised by that. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 2-1. Ziggs HD says, what's your opinion on the Swallows so far? To be honest, I haven't really seen them a whole lot. We saw them a couple times during spring training, and there's a fastball swung on. It's lined in the left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And so with his first at bat, Shoya Makino has his first career NPB base hit. And they're going to send that baseball out for the souvenir. He did a good job of keeping his hands back on the breaking ball and driving it into the opposite field. Good piece of hitting by the young left-handed hitting catcher. So that is going to bring up the top of the order, Shohei Suzuki. So Suzuki at the plate, getting ready to face the right-hander Kishi. Kishi kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Back to the question that Ziggs HD asked. He says, what do you think of the Swallows? I really like that 3-4 part of the order. I really like their second baseman, Tetsudo Yamada. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And I also like their third baseman, who had a heck of a ball game last night, Murakami. He had a couple of home runs. And so there's a lot to look forward to. In fact, Murakami is a player that I think could potentially be a major league bat. Unfortunately, I really don't like his glove from what I saw in the exhibition season. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up behind second base. Camping out underneath it is Asamura. He makes the grab. That is going to retire Shohei Suzuki for the second out of the inning. But he won't be posted anytime soon, one would think. So he's going to have some time to work on his glove. But that glove, from what I watched, his footwork, lots of work to do over there at the third base side of the infield. So that brings up Suzuki Genda with 2 away. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up. And here's the pitch from Kishi. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Kishi has been pretty productive so far. That's his 39th pitch of the ball game. He comes set at the belt, and he's ready to go back to work. Here comes the pitch to Genda, and there goes the runner. They throw down to second, and it's going to be in time as the base runner, Makino, is caught stealing. That's going to go down 2-6 for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it for the Lions in their half of the third. For the Lions, they had no runs, no hits. Check that, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 2.5. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, the Saitama Seibu Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments with the call of the bottom of the third inning. back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the third inning, and I gotta say that the Saitama Seibu Lions may have missed an opportunity to challenge the play there at second base. It looks like the catcher, Makino, may have got under the tag. It was a high tag. They ruled him out. The Lions did not appeal to the VAR for video evidence, so that is a lost opportunity. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters are coming to bat. That's Hideto Asamura, Hiroki Shimouchi, and Daichi Suzuki. As part of the batting order, drove in the runs with Asamura and Suzuki knocking in runs in the first inning. As the first pitch delivered to Asamura, it swung on. It's popped up over on the first base side. Moving over underneath it is Witt. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Asamura with one pitch. There is one away here in the third. That's going to bring up Hiroki Shimouchi. For Shimouchi tonight, he is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He had a 9-pitch at bat against the right-hander Matsumoto. So Shimouchi digs himself in, ready to go to battle. And there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Alexander Leggett says on his last day of work, his last day of work is the 7th, and he's going to go straight from his job to DC so he can watch the Nats. So no ball and 1 strike. And here's the pitch to Shimouchi. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. I think it was Tommy Lasorda once said that all major league teams are going to win a third of their games and lose a third of the games. There's a fastball swung on, and it's a good job by Shimouchi to stay inside the ball. He lines it into left field, and he is aboard with a base hit here with 1 away. And that is going to bring up Daichi Suzuki. I'll get back to my thoughts about Lasorda in a minute, but Suzuki doubled and knocked in a run his first time up. He's carrying on his hot pace. He had 3 hits last night, and he knocked in 3 runs. He picks up another RBI tonight. So he's getting himself going. Suzuki, he's 1 for 1 tonight. He's pulled his average up to 241. So Matsumoto comes set at the chest. And he kicks it, he delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Alexander Leggett says this is some KBO pitching right here. Yeah, the one thing I noticed about Matsumoto, I didn't get the specs on him, but he doesn't look like he's a big guy at all. He's probably 5'8". You don't see too many 5'8" pitchers not named Stroman, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder, Kishi. Is going to make the catch, and that is going to do it for Suzuki. So 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Yoshiaki Watanabe. So Ricky Reggs asks, where are you located? I'm located now in Vancouver, British Columbia. I have not seen a game in the Alaskan League. I used to coach in the Western Major League, the WMBL. But the Alaskan League for years used to be one of the best baseball leagues in America outside of the Cape, or the best league, or maybe it was vice versa. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 0-1. I checked that count as 1-0 as he misses down. So 1 ball and no strikes. Watanabe, who bats from the left side, waiting on the offering from Matsumoto. It's a fastball swung on. Another ball popped up, this time to the left side. Moving back is Suzuki Genda. He's going to make the catch with his back to the infield. That is going to do it here in the third inning. So this game is starting to pick up some pace. There was no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 3 complete innings. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, the Saitama Seibu Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the top of the 4th inning. After this, here's another one of our ones from our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher after the game. Be sure to go over and check out Steve's channel and let him know that it's time to get a haircut and that Last Drops Baseball has sent you. Welcome back, everybody. We are ready to get this one going again. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Seibu batting order. Suzuki Genda was at the plate when the base runner Makino got tossed out trying to steal second, so he'll lead it off here, followed by O'Grady and Nakamura. And he first pitched to Genda as the fastball swung on and grounded foul just past the first base bag, and the count is quickly 0-1. For Genda tonight, he's 0 for 1. He flew out to left his first time up. Genda has moved all around the batting order recently. He started lower, batting 9th when we saw them early in the season. He slowly inched his way up. He was in the 3-hole last night. As a fastball swung on, this ball is lifted into shallow left field. Camping out underneath it is Nishikawa. He's going to make the grab, and that's the second time today that Genda has flown out to left field. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Brian O'Grady. For O'Grady, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He's got one of the 2 hits by the Saitama Seibu Lions. It was a single his first time up. Here comes the pitch from Kishi. It's a changeup that drops in there for a strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Kishi gets the ball. He doesn't waste much time. O'Grady steps out of the box, but then he is ready to get back in, and so is Kishi ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Alexander Leggett says, and here I was saying the Lions offense was looking better this year. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and O'Grady is down on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that is going to leave it up to Takeya Nakamura. Well, if I take a look at the Lions lineup, I mean, really speaking, last year, I mean, they had Corey Spangenberg as their import player, and the word I would use to describe Spangenberg and his batting was erratic. Missing Tomoyo Mori with the broken finger is really going to hurt their offense. There's a fastball that misses upstairs to Nakamura, and the count is 1-0. Nakamura is a shell of his former self. He's, 38 years old now off the top of my head. He's 0 for 1 tonight, and was batting 147 coming into the game. When he swings at a fastball, he grounds it over to third. Watanabe backhands it across the diamond, and that is going to retire Nakamura on a ground out 5-3 for out number 3. So a pretty quick and quiet inning here for Kishi. There were no runs in the inning on no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through 3.5. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, the Saitama Seibu Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a minute with the call of the bottom of the 4th inning. In just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters coming to bat for Tohoku. That means Jose Marmaleos, Ryosuke Tatsumi, and Jinjiro Simatani. So Alexander Leggett said that he thought the Lions were looking better. And as I said, when I look at the roster, a player last year who I would say I was impressed with to some degree was Nin-Ting Wu. It looked like he was finally starting to come into his own a bit. Got a chance to play a bit every day. Brian O'Grady looks like an upgrade over the import from Spangenberg last year. He's had some competitive at-bats. I like the way that his approach at the plate. Sensuke Genda, well, Genda is what Genda is. He's not a power hitter. He's a bunter. He gets on base and he does things. But really, I look at their lineup and I think that they're probably 2 or 3 bats away from doing some damage. There's a first pitch fastball swung on it, has popped up in front of home plate. The catcher, Makino, gets out in front of it and he makes the grab. And just like that, with one pitch, there is one away here in the bottom of the fourth as Jose Marmaleos has popped to the catcher. That's going to bring up Ryosuke Tatsumi. Tatsumi is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up. Tatsumi batting from the left side against the right-hander Matsumoto. And Matsumoto kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. I will say this, that I am a little surprised that Matsumoto has hung in here because I thought the Eagles were going to get to him early and get him out of there. And there's a breaking ball that's delivered that misses inside. They appealed out to the third base umpire, but he confirms that Tatsumi didn't go, and the count is now 2-0. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. There is a breaking ball that pops out of the glove of the catcher, and it squirts away over on the third base side. And the count's now 3-0 to Tatsumi. So 3 balls and no strikes. Matsumoto back to work. He delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 3-1. I started to mention it yesterday in the Pacific League. Through yesterday's games, there are 27 games in the Pacific League, only 24 home runs. There's a fastball swung on, and it is fouled away over on the third base side. And that's going to make the count full at 3-2. Last year, there was, in 429 games, 689 homers hit. So you're looking at just over 1.5 homers a game between the two teams. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Tatsumi is retired on strikes for out number 2. That's going to leave it up to the catcher, Jinjiro Simatani. So definitely this year, the teams in the Pacific League are looking for some more juice in the bat. They're not getting it. But again, as the weather heats up and the summer starts to get into full swing, the balls will start to carry. So we'll see what happens. So here comes the first pitch. That's a fastball swung on. It is grounded on one hop over to Witt. He flips it over to the pitcher covering, and that is going to do it. That's going to be a ground out. 3-1 for out number 3. And so for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles in their half of the fourth, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 4 complete. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions trailing the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3-0. Stick around, everybody. I'll be right back in just a minute. We're glad you are with us. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be back in just a half a moment as we are moving to the top of the 5th inning. We're glad you are with us. I'll answer some more questions in the chat when I return. We're glad you guys are here. Welcome back, everybody. Alexander Leggett asked the question. He says, during halftime, do you have rundowns on the games coming up? Saw the prediction section. Curious which one then I'd be watching if it was 2 p.m. instead of 2 a.m. Well, the game I'd be tuning into in the Central League would be the Carp and the Giants, the battle of the top two spots. Obviously, CC Mercedes going tonight. He would be the one I'd be curious to watch and to see, but that's a decent matchup. It's not the aces of the staff. So here comes the first pitch to Ning Wu. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. It's Wu, Witt, and Tonosaki here to face Kishi in the top of the fifth inning. And there is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ziggs HD asked the question, what's the best baseball movie of all time? There's the 1-1 pitch, and Wu swings, and he hits that ball to right field. If the ball is playable, it's going to be out, and it is. And so Hiroki Shimochi makes the grab, and that is going to retire Wu for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. So the best movie for me of all time, the best baseball movie, the one I enjoyed the most, I like The Natural. With Robert Redford back in the day and the lightning bolt bat. That was one of my favorite movies. There are other great movies, of course. Bull Durham and Major League is another one. So there's the first pitch to Jansen Witt. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Witt is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew to center field his first time up. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kishi ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into the seats over behind first base, the first base dugout. The count goes to 1-2. Alexander Leggett says the Sandlot is a classic, but it's not exactly deep. This is true. So here comes the 1-2 pitch from Kishi. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. Witt is able to hold off, and the count now goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Witt ready to go back to work here. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and the ball's going to be lifted into the seats beyond the first base dugout. The count remains at 2-2. Sam, I am in the house tonight. Welcome back. He says the offense is so damn bad. Yeah, it is. It's a bit painful watching the Lions hit here. I would say the worst offensive team, of course, in my opinion, right now has got to be Hokkaido, the Nippon Ham Fighters. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Kishi ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. And Ryosuke Tatsumi, who's been busy tonight, is going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Witt for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to Shuda Tonosaki. Yeah, the Saitama Seibu Lions, well, you think about it, they lost Shogo Akiyama a couple years ago, who was one of their better hitters. Of course, he was recently released by the Cincinnati Reds. You take a couple of bats out of your lineup and you suddenly become very average very quickly. And there's a fastball delivered, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Tonosaki tonight is 0 for 1. He popped to second his first time up. Alexander also points out that the Chinichi Dragons are pretty bad. It's true. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Chinichi is really struggling. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. And that ball is gone. A home run. Tonosaki has smacked that into the seats just as we're talking about home runs and poor hitting. Tonosaki absolutely turns on that one. It was the only question was it going to stay fair or not? And it did. That has opened the scoring for the Lions here in the 5th inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Junichiro Kishi. So just as the words were coming out of our mouth about how bad the offense is, Tonosaki makes them pay. So here comes Kishi to the plate to face Kishi again. And he takes a called strike for strike one. The pitcher, Kishi, got the best of the offensive Kishi the last time up. As Junichiro is 0 for 1 as he struck out his first time up. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And there's a fastball, and this ball is swung on, and this ball is scorched to left field. And what do you know? We're going to have back-to-back home runs as another one has left the park. Junichiro Kishi with his first homer of the year. That ball is absolutely crushed. And so now they have cut into the Tohoku lead. It is now 3-2 on back-to-back jacks. Tonosaki and Kishi making it look like it's batting practice. That's going to bring up the catcher, Shoya Makino. So all the power is coming from the 7 and 8 spots in the batting order. So Sam I Am, who has got the kiss of death out for the Lions, has actually sparked them with some of his comments in the chat. So now that brings up the catcher, Makino. And the first pitch to Makino, he takes a swing, and he looked like he wanted to make it 3 in a row. That pitch was swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. I will say I did notice when Makino came up the first time, what was noticeable with him was the bat speed. He's got some bat speed there, and there's a fastball swung on and fouled away on the third base side, and the count is 0-2. We see Zero Fox Sports in the house tonight. Good to see you, Doug. I missed your call earlier. Hope you're doing good. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Makino. Ready to go back to work. Kishi rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is still 1-2. Anthony Woodfield in the house as well. So here comes the 1-2 pitch from Kishi. That is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Coming in underneath it is Tatsumi. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it. But 2 solo home runs out of nowhere have put the Saitama Seibu Lions on the board. They had 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 4.5. It's the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3, the Saitama Seibu Lions 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the 5th inning in just a moment. It's our friend Steve again.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything. So we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, Everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Straps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Appreciate Steve. And we are coming back for the bottom half of the fifth inning. And what do you know it? As we were criticizing the offense of the Seibu Lions, that is where they got on cue and smacked a couple of home runs into the stands. It's now going to be the top of the order coming up for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. It's going to be Nishikawa, Yamazaki, and Asamura. And so we are going to use the fifth inning break here as a time to go get some fresh tea and some more water to clear our voice. We're struggling a little bit tonight, and I apologize for that to everybody. So Matsumoto ready to go back to work. And here comes the first pitch to Nishikawa. It's a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees. The count is 0-1. I actually thought about last night about doing a doubleheader of games, and probably could have done a double last night and been okay with that. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right center field, moving back onto the warning track, leaping at the wall, and this one is gone. A home run for Nishikawa, and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have got one back. And it is now a 4-2 ball game. That ball was absolutely scorched. So now, out of nowhere, the balls are starting to carry out of the park. And Nishikawa is getting his high fives from his teammates as he gets back to the dugout. So that increases the lead to 4-2. So for one of our friends in here who was looking for the over, I think they said 6.5 was the over. They might get this by the end of the fifth inning. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Yamazaki, and it's a ball that misses in. Yamazaki tonight is 0 for 1. He popped to the shortstop his last time up. He's walked in, scored a run. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. And here's the pitch from Matsumoto. It is swung on. It is lifted up in the air just by the shortstop Genda, who camps over underneath it, and he's going to make the grab, and that is going to retire Yamazaki for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Hideo Asamura. For Asamura tonight, he is 1 for 2. He singled and drove a run in his first time up, and he's popped the first. He's pulled his average up to 290 on the season. Here's the pitch from Matsumoto. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Samura, the steady right-handed stick for the Golden Eagles, takes a fastball upstairs, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Matsumoto goes back to work. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And there is a fastball swung on and missed. Count is now 2-2. That was a 4-seam fastball that was delivered up and in, and got the best of Asamura. And there's a breaking ball that is swung on, and that's cued foul behind home plate. And the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded to the 6 hole, backhanded by Genda across the diamond. And that is going to retire Asamura on a ground out, 6-3. Kenneth Austin asked the question, how did the Lions score? He had to step away back-to-back jacks by the 7 and 8 hole hitters in their lineup. Tanosaki and Kishi went yard back-to-back at bats. So that's going to leave it up to Hiroki Shimouchi. Shimouchi is 1 for 2 tonight. He struck out and singled. So here we go, ready to go back to work, and the pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Troy says he sees what he talks about when the gamblers are out. Yep. Thanks for stopping in, Troy. We appreciate you. Hopefully we can get a lot more baseball under our belts. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-0 out of Shimochi. So here comes the next pitch to Shimochi, and it's a fastball that misses away, and now that runs the count to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Matsumoto ready to go back to work, and Shimochi takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 3-1. Kenneth Austin says the Lions are going to come back. I'm not convinced. I'm a little behind on my ticker there. We'll have to update that. And there's a breaking ball that comes in. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 3-2. Kenneth says he would step away when all the action happens. Well, here comes the 3-2 to Shimochi, and there's a breaking ball swung on. It's lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats on the third base side. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shimochi digs himself in. Matsumoto ready to go back to work. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. Is popped to shallow left field. O'Grady coming in. He camps out underneath it. He makes the grab. And Shimochi is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. But they get one back here in the bottom of the 5th. The solo shot by Nishikawa. There was 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 5 completed as the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 4, the Saitama Seibu Lions 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're glad you could be here with us.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to try to do the Major League Baseball out-of-town scoreboard, and also we can give you a quick look at that. The Grapefruit League and the Cactus League are coming to a finish here. And so we'll run down the daily recap here. The Tigers beat the Yankees today 5-3. Matt Manning got the win. Banuelos the loss. Haas got the save. Cardinals beat the Marlins 7-0. Steven Matz got his first winning of the spring. Blyer takes the loss for the Marlins. Nationals did a beatdown on the Mets today 14-0. Eric Fedde got the win. Taijuan Walker takes the loss. Philadelphia Phillies beat the Pirates 5-1. Zach Eflin the win. Thompson the loss. Red Sox beat the Twins 10-6. Robles with the win. Jax takes the loss for the Twins. Braves shut out the Rays 1-0. Newcomb the win. Kluber the loss. Riley got the save. Blue Jays beat the Orioles 2-1. Adam Simber got the win. Lakins Sr. took the loss. Romano the save. Cincinnati knocked off the Mariners 12-9. It was Diaz the win. Chang the loss. Branch the save. Texas Rangers knocked off the Cubs 11-5. Hearn got his 3rd win of the spring. Yardley took the loss for the Cubs. White Sox beat the Padres 9-6. Banks the win. Paddock the loss. Freeman the save. The Brew Crew beat the Royals 5-4. Cruz got the win. Williman takes the loss. Cousins the save. Diamondbacks beat the Guardians 3-1. Boozer got the win for the D-backs. Zapata the loss. Lozano the save for the D-backs. Giants and Athletics were a 7-7 tie. Rockies beat the Guardians 10-3. Gomber the win. Allen the loss. The Dodgers shut out the Angels 5-0. It was Miller with the win and Lorenzen the loss for the Angels. Our friend Alexander Leggett asked the question, can we go back and take a look at the games that we made predictions on our channel? If you're interested, on our channel page, if you go to the community section, we had an article today we wrote on who we thought were going to win the games tonight, because we do get a lot of people that come in and they like to put their money down and so on and so forth. And it's not something we're here for. We're just recounting the action in the game, but we give you our predictions for tonight. We had the Swallows beating the Dragons, and I think the deciding factor was the starting pitchers and the fact that you called us at home. Those are things that I look for, is if I do make my own predictions, who the home teams are, who the starting pitchers are. Yokohama Dana Bay Stars were playing the Hanshin Tigers. I know the Tigers won yesterday behind a nice pitching performance by Yuki Nishi, but I think the Bay Stars are going to pull this one off again tonight. The Bay Stars were throwing Kenta Ishida tonight. I liked him better than the pitcher Ito for the Tigers. Game that was a toss-up for me, and I went with the Giants, was that it is CC Mercedes who is pitching against Hiroki Takota for the Carp. I predicted that the Giants would pull this one off tonight. In the Pacific League, it was Oryx and Fukuoka. I still think Fukuoka is going to stay undefeated after this one. The Oryx Buffaloes, although they were sending Daiki Tajima to the hill, I believe that the Hawks will pull that one out. Chimbalote Marines and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, going with the Fighters in this one. The game is, of course, the Fighters are struggling off to a poor start this year, but definitely feel that this is going to be a bounce-back game for them tonight. Of course, this one here, we said our prediction was the Golden Eagles. I like Kishi better than Matsumoto on the mound, and even though it's a 4-2 ball game right now, I'm still going to hold to that. So that's what I'm saying here tonight. I believe that the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are going to win this ball game. For Kishi, he has delivered 68 pitches through the first 5 innings of work, so he's just a little bit over an economical pace. He's about 16, almost 16 pitches per inning. One would think if he could get through the next couple innings, they can turn the ball over to the back end of the bullpen, and the Golden Eagles bullpen, in my opinion, is very strong, with Matsui pitching the 9th and maybe Song the 8th. That's what they usually go with. I would probably expect those two guys to come in and be able to close it out. So Kishi has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are about ready to resume the action as we're going back to the top of the 6th inning. It's going to be the top of the order for the Lions. It's going to be Shohei Suzuki, Sasuke Genda, and Brian O'Grady. So the 1-2-3 hitters. It is a very sparse crowd, afternoon crowd in Tohoku for this one. Kind of wondered why they're playing an afternoon affair. So Kishi ready to go to work. He rocks into the motion and he delivers. It's a breaking ball that's taken up high. I have some issues with the home plate umpire. He's not giving the high pitch. He's not giving the low pitch in the breaking balls. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike. So you've really got to pigeonhole it in. Some of the pitches that were down around the knees, he wasn't getting the call. So Kenneth Austin is slamming his fist on the table, wanting the top of the order to get things going. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Kishi delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up over on the right side, but it looks like it's going to get to the seats. And it does, and that is going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kishi ready to go to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this time lifted foul down the third base line, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We do appreciate everybody who does make it into our streams. There's another fastball delivered. This ball is popped up into shallow left field. Nishikawa moving in toward the foul line. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it for out number 1. Suzuki is retired, and that is going to bring up Sasuke Genda. For Genda on the evening, he is 0 for 2. Both of his outs have been fly balls to left field. So Genda stands in on the left side. His average has slipped to 257. And the first pitch from Kishi's a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1. So 1-0. As I mentioned, sometimes it's a challenge with these umpires. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded slowly over to second. Asamura ranges slightly onto the outfield grass to field it. He throws to first, and Genda is going to be retired on a ground out 4-3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to Brian O'Grady. So O'Grady steps in, and he's 1 for 2 tonight. He singled his first time up, and he struck out his last time, and he is way out in front of a breaking ball, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to O'Grady. Kishi ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So Nadibo Pera in the house. He's looking for at least 1 more run so he can hit his over. And there's a breaking ball that's tap foul, and the count remains at 0-2 to O'Grady. So no balls and 2 strikes. Kishi gets the sign from his catcher. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now has 1 ball and 2 strikes. One would think at this rate, I think Kishi's got at least 1 more inning in him. Here comes the 80th pitch. He delivers. It's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind the third base dugout. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to O'Grady. Curious what tonight's attendance is going to check in at. I'd be shocked if it was over 20,000. There's a breaking ball. Nice block by the catcher, although there's nobody on base to do any damage. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Simitani was able to fire down and keep the ball in front. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Kishi rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's tap foul just beyond the first base bag. The count remains at 2-2 to O'Grady. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kishi ready to go back to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. It's going to be just going to reach the seats. Nishikawa ran out of real estate. And that is going to keep the count at 2-2. Sam I Am says, is this the O'Grady who was on the Padres? Yes, it is. The former Kansas City Royal San Diego Padre has found a home at the Seibu Seibu Lions. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is now full to O'Grady. Kishi here needs to challenge the hitter with 2 away. He's wasted too many pitches to O'Grady. Here comes the 3-2. And there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2. So this is going to turn into one of those marathon at-bats. We're already at 10 pitches in the at-bat. Grady digs in. He's waiting on the offering from the right-hander Kishi, and it's a fastball that misses in. And O'Grady has drawn himself a 2-out walk. Really good piece of hitting there by O'Grady to get on base. He was 11 pitch at bat from the former big leaguer. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Takia Nakamura. For Nakamura tonight, he is 0 for 2. He's flown to center and grounded to third. When you look at the numbers in the Lions batting order, there's not too many batting averages above 250. The first pitch is a breaking ball that's swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. We got Big Ray in the house tonight. Sam I Am asks how many pitches that Kishi is at. This is going to be the 88th pitch coming up. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So Nadibo Para says, do you think they'll score 1 more run? In this inning, I don't think so, but there's definitely going to be more runs scored in this game. So here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up in front of home plate. Coming in is the first baseman, Suzuki. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here in the 6th inning for the Seibu Seibu Lions. So for the Lions in their half of the 6th inning, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 5.5. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 4, Seibu Seibu Lions 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call of the bottom of the 6th inning. We're glad you're with us. Hold tight. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 6th inning, and our friend Justin Spiro says, you're a hero for this play-by-play. We appreciate you. We might be tonight. The voice is going on us a little bit here. So we appreciate you guys holding in with us. We're doing the best we can. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the batting order. That means it's going to be Daichi Suzuki, Yoshiaki Watanabe, and Jose Marmoleos. And we do have a pitching change now for the Seibu Seibu Lions. We'll get you that here in a moment. We have a right-hander, and it is going to be Yoshinobu Mizukami. He is coming in to replace the right-hander Matsumoto. So one of the things I've been saying over the last couple of nights, or last few nights we've done the Lions games, they are definitely a team that's bullpen is shaky. So I haven't seen Mizukami yet. So we'll see what he has to perform. And Daichi Suzuki is going to welcome him to the ball game. So here we go. And here's the first pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Suzuki. Big Ray, you missed it the other night when we had 46 people in the chat. It was absolutely incredible. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. Had to be the busiest stream I think we ever had. I think we had about 600 views on the stream. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And we got John Cardona in the house tonight. Welcome back, John. There's the 1-1 pitch to Suzuki. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So Nidibo says we'll get at least 1 more run. I think there might be more because, as I said, this bullpen for the Lions is a little dicey. There's a fastball that misses outside, and it's now 3 balls and 1 strike to Suzuki. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. And Muzakami delivers. It is swung on. It is tapped slowly over to second. Tanasaki fields it. He flips it to Witt at first, and that is going to retire Suzuki on a ground out. 4-3 for out number 1. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Yoshiaki Watanabe. Watanabe tonight is 0 for 1. He popped to short, but he drove in a run with a sac fly back in the first inning. Watanabe is one of those other hitters in the lineup. As we mentioned, he's batting from the left side. On the season, he is hitting .500. He's 4 for 8 on the year. He's got no homers and now 2 runs batted in. And here comes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it's hammered foul down the left field line. The count is quickly 0-1. One of the people on Twitch is asking for a link to see the game, please. And Big Ray says the banner went away. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. And it's fielded neatly, and by Genda, he fires to first, and that's going to retire Watanabe. It goes as a ground out, 6-3. So 2 up and 2 away. Our friend Alexander Leggett earlier was saying in the chat about, we were talking a little bit about the Twitch users. You were coming in and asking for links. I'll give you some of that information. Tell the Twitch users to DM Flubicurse for a link. Or you can look at the Reddit's NPB sublist, and that can help you for that. And the first pitch to Marmoleos is a fastball that misses for ball 1. There's another pitch delivered by Muzakami. It's a fastball that's fouled away over on the third base side. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Marmoleos tonight is 0 for 2. He struck out his first time up, and he popped to the catcher his last time up. He is really struggling to get things going here, and there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cody Williams asks the question, and Alexander Leggett has dropped it down for him. So Flibry Curse on Twitch for a link. There's a ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2. We don't hand out the links on this channel. We don't stream the games. It's going to get us into trouble. We're here for the live commentary. You can look at the Reddit's NPB sub. You'll be able to find it there. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Moving over is the right fielder, but he's called off by the center fielder. So Kishi is called off by Suzuki, who makes the grab. And that is going to do it here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, they go quietly with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Through 6 complete, it is the Seibu Seibu Lions trailing the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 4-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call at the top of the 7th inning. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 7th inning. It is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming to bat for Seibu. It's Nin-Ting Wu, Jansen Witt, and Shuda Tonosaki. And the starting pitcher, Takayuki Kishi, is still in the game at 89 pitches through 6 innings. So he's ready to go back to work, and there is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Wu. Teddy Isabeau asks on Twitch, can you share a link to the game again, please? So Fluby Curse on Twitch for a link. You can DM him, or you can look at Reddit's NPB sub. You may have to use the old Reddit to find the help section. Those are your best bets and your quickest bets to be able to do that for you. That's the info you need. So there's a breaking ball that misses to Wu, and the count is now 2-0. So Wu getting a steady diet of breaking balls. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 3-0, and 3 balls and no strikes too. This is something we've noticed with Kishi. Sometimes Kishi will hit a wall, and I'll be curious to see how long they're going to stay with him. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and it's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 3-1. Kishi, through the first 4 innings, had only allowed 2 hits, and then he gave up the 2 loud hits in the 5th on back-to-back homers to Tonosaki and Kishi. And there's a fastball that misses just below the knees, and that is going to be ball 4 as Nin-Ting Wu has drawn himself a leadoff walk. That's the second walk now in as many innings for Kishi. So I'll be curious to see if they got the hands on the telephone for the bullpen. So that's going to bring up the first baseman, Jansen Witt, and he steps up to the plate. Kishi holds at the belt, and he's ready to deliver. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Look at Jansen Witt here. It's kind of funny. He's got Jansen on the back of his jersey. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We see that with some of the players in the NPB, that they'll have their first name, or they'll go by sort of like how Ichiro was known as. Everybody knew who Ichiro was in leagues. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Kishi kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. As I was saying earlier, some of the rules in the NPB, we were talking about rules. Balks will be called when pitchers who failed to come to a complete stop for at least 3 seconds before coming to the plate. I don't think I've ever seen a balk call in this league with that. Sometimes there's no way that they hold the ball for 3 seconds. But they do hold it for a while. And here's the pitch to Witt, and it is a fastball that misses down. I'm not sure where that pitch is, to be honest with you. We have an offset angle here, and it's a bit frustrating with the umpires. I got the replay. That pitch may have been outside, but the up-down was pretty good. When you're sitting in the dugout as the manager, you can definitely see the up-down. It's the inside out that you can't see. That pitch is pretty darn good. That's going to even the count at 2-2 to Witt. So here comes the 2-2. Kishi delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into deep center field. Going back is Tatsumi. He's going to make the catch on the run on the warning track. And he's going to hoist it back in. They got a chance for a double play here. And getting back in time is Nin Ting Wu. What a great play. That almost looked like, if you guys remember, for a couple of years ago in the big leagues when Ramon Laureano was running away from his back was to first base, and he made the grab and turned and fired somebody out at first. That was what almost happened here. Tatsumi just needed just a little bit more arm strength. But Jansen Witt is going to be ticked off. He's pretty much snake bitten. That ball was absolutely scorched. So with one out, that brings up Shuta Tonosaki, who deposited a homer in the left field seats his last time up. Nadibo Parra over on Twitch says, where can we see the game live? And as we said before, Fluby Curse on Twitch for a link. Or you can look at Reddit's NPB sub. They have an old section. We have to go to the old section to do it. Those are the best ways to find the links to the game. Fastball taken at the knees by Tonosaki for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. One would think this has got to be the last inning of work for Kishi. There's been some pretty loud hits. That last fly ball to center field by Witt, the 2 homers in the 5th inning. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball down. It's in the left-handed batter's box. The catcher, Jinjiro there, Simatani, he had a hard time coming up with it. The count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Tonosaki. The runner at first is Wu. There's 1 away here in the top half of the 7th inning. Tonosaki digs in. Kishi gets the sign from his catcher. He kicks and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to short. It's fielded neatly by Yamazaki. Over to second for 1. Back to first. It is a tailor-made double play. That goes as a ground out, 6-4-3. As Wu is retired for the 2nd out at second. And Tonosaki is the 3rd out at first. So for the Seibu Seibu Lions and their half of the 7th inning, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 6.5. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 4, the Seibu Seibu Lions 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a moment. Here's our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
We appreciate you, Matt Hollis. We thank you for your support of our channel, and in turn, we like to support Matt. Be sure to check out his channel after the game. That is Another Hollis Build for all kinds of crazy stuff. It looks like the Lions are going back to the bullpen again, and they're going to turn to another right-hander. So the pitching parade is going to continue. This is going to be number 25. This is Katsunori Hirai. So Katsunori Hirai entering the ball game. He's going to get his opportunity to keep the Eagles at bay. So Hirai is going to be facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order for the Eagles. That means it's going to be Ryosuke Tatsumi, Junjiro Sumitani, and Haruki Nishikawa. And the first pitch delivered is a breaking ball that misses outside to Tatsumi for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Tatsumi tonight is 0 for 2. He's flown out to left and struck out in his only 2 appearances. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 2-0. Tatsumi last year got a lot of opportunity early in the season to hit in the leadoff spot. He's not been able to regain that position in the batting order. When we've seen them play this year, the Golden Eagles, he's been hitting in the bottom third of the order. So here comes the 2-0, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike, and there's the pitch. It's a breaking ball delivered. This ball is slammed into right field, and Tatsumi has got himself a base hit. He is aboard here with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. I'd be curious here to see if the Eagles are going to be bunting over here. I'd like to see if Sumitani is going to drop one over to put the batter Tatsumi into scoring position. So Tatsumi is the runner on first, and Sumitani is coming up to the plate. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He's already squaring the bunt. I get a good kick out of it when they step into the batter's box. They've already got in position. I often wonder if they practice bunting in the on-deck circle. There's so much bunting that goes on. So they flip over to first base, and diving back in time is Tatsumi. So here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. John Cardona asks a question. He says, am I the only one that feels that one of the biggest problems in baseball is managers not having a bullpen ready quickly enough during the starting pitcher's first sign of weakness? That is an interesting question. I don't know about first sign of weakness. I think you have to almost look at it in a couple of ways. Early in the ball game, you want your starter to try to wiggle his way out of it. I believe it was Sparky Anderson years ago once said he'll let his starter try to get out of a jam the first time, but if he got into a jam a second time, you were done. So here's the 1-0 pitch, and Sumitani squares the bunt, and he bunts it foul. That's going to reach, goes just behind home plate on the third base side, and the count goes to 1-1. So just to continue that thought that John asks, one would think that that might not apply if a pitcher gets into a jam in the 6th or 7th inning. If he hasn't been in a jam all night, and all of a sudden he's starting to show that he's getting himself into trouble, that you might want to make a move to the pen. Another thing is what I do not log here are the velocities of the pitches. But you can see if a pitcher starts getting into trouble, if his velo starts to fall. So in other words, if a guy's been sitting at 97 miles an hour through the first 4 innings, and all of a sudden he's now throwing 93, it becomes an area of concern. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. Again, the catcher is squaring to bunt, and again, they throw over to first base. So 1 ball and 1 strike. John says sometimes by the time the managers pick up the phone, there's already too much damage done. I think you want to use your trips to the mound, certainly to get the catcher out or to have maybe your middle infielder come in and gives you a chance to stall. That last pitch was a fastball that was inside to Simitani, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And also, too, understanding your pitchers. I was going to say you've also got a situation with knowing certain guys, especially the starters. Some guys where they fall off the rails. There's a bunt. It's down. It's pretty good. The pitcher fields it. Harai throws to first, but the runner Tatsumi is going to advance to second, so that's going to go down as a sacrifice. 1-4 in this situation. So that's 1 away, and that brings up the top of the order, Haruki Nishikawa. John says, I also think it depends on the pitcher, of course, and whether you have a large lead. Even not necessarily that, John. I remember a few years ago, and it looks like we've got a visit to the mound. We may be getting a pitching change here. That exactly looks like what's going to happen. I have seen enough of Harai as the Lions are going back to the bullpen. But one further comment that I would have to that is I remember I had a pitcher who played for me, and he ended up going on to Wayne State University, which was an NCAA Division II school in Michigan, outside of the Detroit area. And what had happened was this particular pitcher, he was great through the first 3 or 4 innings, and all of a sudden he got into the 5th inning, and it was just like a wall he couldn't get over. He either lost his legs, and he just wasn't strong enough at the time. He was a 17-year-old right-hander, and he just wasn't able to get over. But as he got stronger, as he got later in his career, he increased his stamina, and he was a very productive pitcher. So sometimes that happens too. So we do have a pitching change. As the Lions have gone to the bullpen, now they're bringing in a left-hander to face the top-heavy left-handed batting part of the order. It's going to be Takuro Sasaki in the game. This is pitcher number 4. So unlike in Major League Baseball where you have to face 3 hitters in relief, Sasaki is coming in here. And basically you can go 1 batter and they can make the pull. That's the one thing that the Japanese baseball is still the same thing. John Cardona makes a point. He says velocity is a great point. I think the Rays and the MLB did a good job that last year where they would take their starters out quicker than most. Absolutely. They make no hesitation to go to the bullpen very early. Velocity is definitely one thing. Another thing is also to the monitoring the pitchers where they can get ahead in the count. Sometimes pitchers, early in the game, they may get ahead in the count, and then they start to fall off as the game goes on. They can't finish their pitchers. They stay up in the zone. At what point do you go to the bullpen? Probably as soon as you start to see some of that stuff. So here comes Nishikawa. Nishikawa's the leadoff hitter. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He homered his last time up. He's walked and scored a run, and he has flown out to left. He's officially 1 for 2. So here comes the first pitch from Sasaki. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded right back off the mound. It hits the pitcher. It trickles over to first base. Nishikawa is going to be aboard with his second hit of the night, as he smoked that ball off of the pitcher Sasaki. So welcome to the ball game. They're going to have a visit from the trainer, it looks like, as he's hobbling around the mound. We'll get the replay of that one. It was right back, hit him off the leg, trickled over to first base, but there was a play for no one as Nishikawa runs fairly well. And so that is going to advance Tatsumi over to third, and now they got runners on the corners. The lefty Sasaki is taking a couple of warm-up tosses here to see if he's all right, and the pitching coach Toyota can return to the dugout with the trainer. That's going to bring up Tsuyoshi Yamazaki. Yamazaki tonight is officially 0 for 2. He's popped short twice. He's also walked and scored a run. Yamazaki has had his issues this year. Or I should say this season. His average has slipped to 0.87. We haven't seen him since early in the year. Kakanaka, who got a lot of time at shortstop last year, is actually got a start in center field when we called one of the games earlier in the season. So I'm not sure what Kakanaka is doing these days. Or I should say Kakanaka Kobukata. So with runners on the corners, Sasaki ready to face the left-handed stick in Yamazaki. Sasaki checks the runner at third. He comes set at the belt. And he kicks and he delivers. It is a breaking ball down, but they say that Yamazaki went after it. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. As we said, it's a beautiful sunshiny day in Tohoku. But the weather still is a bit brisk. It's in the 50-degree range. And there's a breaking ball swung on its top foul right at home plate. The count is 0-2. Kind of wonder, I've often curious in this position here if they would have, with runners on first and third, if they would have maybe thought about a safety squeeze. The Lions have the infield in at the corners. They're in double play depth up the middle. I would even argue maybe a little shallower than double play depth up the middle. The attendance tonight is 16,870. As I said, it's a kind of a sparse crowd. It's definitely not a full house. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It is swung on and tap foul behind home plate, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and two strikes. John says, if I'm a little late here in the comment section, it's because I have you on a bit of a delay so that your game calling is in sync with the game. Yeah, I think sometimes it can range as about a 7-second delay or maybe a little bit more. So sometimes we are a bit behind the call. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Sasaki holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball. It's up top. There goes the runner off to second base. They pump fake the throw down to second. But Nishikawa has got himself a stolen base as the catcher pump faked the throw and then he looked to third. So stolen base for Nishikawa. I'm kind of curious. And there really hasn't been a lot of opportunities for the Eagles to run. But with Tomoya Mori out for a while, one would think that some of these teams are going to start trying to take advantage to run on the Lions. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Yamazaki. The infield is now in. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Yamazaki is down on strikes for out number 2 here in the 7th inning. And that is going to leave it all up to Hideo Asamura. So the question I would pose to the audience here, you've got an open base with Asamura coming to plate the right-handed hitting Asamura. Who would want to put him on to face the left-handed hitting Shimochi? To me, it's pick your poison. Both hitters are pretty good, but you know what? That's exactly what the Lions have done. They have intentionally walked Asamura because that's what I would have done. That loads the bases. That brings up a lefty-lefty matchup. Hiroki Shimochi steps to the plate. We'll see if this decision is going to work. This Shimochi, every time I see him play, he is a professional batter. He's a professional hitter. He's batting .310 now on the season. He's 1 for 3 tonight. I really like the way that he handles the bat. And as we mentioned earlier, last year in the playoffs, he was very, very clutch. Ziggs HD says he hates the move. I think you pitch to him, but give him nothing good to hit. That's also true. First pitch to Shimochi was the breaking ball down and away. Yeah, sometimes you can induce a guy to swing at something poor and it ends up being a chopper or an out. The guy's too aggressive at the plate. The only thing I would say to that, Ziggs, is if it wasn't the 3 and 4 hole hitters, I might consider doing that. If it's somebody that's the 7 or 8 hitter, maybe a little more undisciplined. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into the gap in left center field. It's going to get down. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And Shimochi cruises into second, and Asamura is going to score all the way from first. The bases are now cleared on that double by Shimochi. That is going to make the score the Eagles 7, the Lions 2. Great piece of hitting by Shimochi. So what crowd there is in Tohoku is on their feet and cheering for their right fielder hitting star, who just has driven in 3 runs to put the game potentially out of reach now. That's going to bring up another lefty, Daichi Suzuki. So as Ziggs HD says, he doesn't like the move. Well, it certainly wouldn't have mattered there. Shimochi has cleared the bases. And now it looks like they've got a pinch runner for Shimochi. Entering the ball game is number 25. This is Kazuki Tanaka. So Tanaka in to run for Shimochi. Ibo Para says, we appreciate the stream. We appreciate you being here. That's awesome stuff. And there's a first pitch fastball. This is swung on. This ball is going to get down. Kishi in right field picks it up. He throws. We got to play at the plate. And it is going to be in time. And that is going to be the end of the inning. It goes down as a putout 9-2. And that will retire Shimochi. So a base hit single for Suzuki. The pinch runner is retired who ran for Shimochi, 9-2 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to retire the side. Our friend Nedibo Para says, can I tip you? We don't have any super chats here, but if you want to send it, the PayPal link is on our page. If you want to send a donation, we're always appreciative of that. But it's not necessarily necessary. But we thank you kindly just the same. So we had some runs in the inning. There was a crooked number on the board. The 3-run double by Hiroki Shimochi. There was 3 runs in the inning. There were 4 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. We are now through 7 complete. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 7, the side of a Seibu Lions 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. We appreciate you all being here. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate it. For some of you, sometimes you're wondering when I'm answering people in the chat, I can't necessarily always tell who's who and what's what. Sometimes we have different ones, but our friend Nedibo Para 01 is typing in from Twitch. So as he types in from Twitch, I read what it is. Sometimes the people that are on YouTube can't see it. He asked the question, are you streaming another game today? I have to be honest with you. I'm struggling to get through this one. My voice is crackling. I was out on a ball field up until about almost 9 o'clock, or about 8:45 Pacific time, and then had to race home to get this one up and running for tonight. We do have some changes. Defensively, Hiroki Shimauchi is out of the game. In right field, the right fielder taking over was the pinch runner who came into the game, and that is Tanaka. And I know we have Anraku now on the hill for the Lions, so the pitcher Takayuki Kishi's day is done. So now it is going to be Junichiro Kishi, Shoya Makino, and Shohei Suzuki. And the first pitch from Anraku is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. For Kishi tonight at the plate, he is 1 for 2. He homered and struck out. There's a fastball delivered. This ball is lifted into right center field. Moving over underneath it is Tanaka. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Kishi for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up Shoya Makino. So just getting some of our notes taken care of. Tomohiro Anraku, we saw him the other night. Thing that's interesting about Anraku is the way that he takes the ball out of his glove. It's almost hooks it out. He works from the stretch position, and then his hand is kind of hooked backwards. It's kind of weird. First pitch fastball is taken for a ball, and it is 1-0 to Makino. Anraku ready to deliver again, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The interesting part about Makino is he is making his NPB debut tonight. This is his 3rd trip to the plate, and there's a fastball that misses up, and the count is 3-0. Makino is 1 for 2. He singled and was caught stealing back in the 3rd inning. Big Ray says, you want me to hide the comments with the F word in it? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure where that has come in. I don't see it here on my end of the stream. Should have been knocked out, but absolutely there, Big Ray. And there's a fastball that is lifted into the seats over on the third base side. So the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Makino. I have to jump in and take a look at my own stream and see what's going on. If that is the case, Big Ray, you can let me know and we'll sort that out as we can. It's not really the place. I want to have some fun in here and enjoy what we're doing, but we don't have to go that direction. Just taking a look at some of that stuff. Yeah, I didn't even see that. It didn't even make it in there for me. I appreciate that, Big Ray. And there's a fastball taken in for a called 3rd strike. And Makino is retired as he's gone for out number 2. He stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by. And that will bring up the center fielder, Suzuki. I'm just a little bit behind because I wanted to go over and take a quick peek at what was happening there. So the first pitch is a fastball, and that is fouled away by Suzuki, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Comes the 0-1 pitch, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field way down the line. We can't see what's going to happen there, but we see that the outfielder Tanaka has fallen down. It looks like it is a foul ball. Just the way that the camera angles are, we lose sight of the right fielder when they go into that corner. It's going to go down as a long strike to Shohei Suzuki. So no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, we got the gamblers in the house tonight. Lots of gamblers jumping in. And here comes the first pitch to, or the 0-2 pitch to Suzuki, and it's taken inside for a ball 1. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch from Anraku. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 2-2. John Cardona says run spread Lions plus 4.5. Yeah, we get into the spreads and those type of things. I got a hard enough time picking the victors of the games, although it looks like I don't want to jump to the conclusions too soon, but I'm in line for a win here. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2 to Suzuki. I think of National Football League games, how people play the spreads is unbelievable. It's hard enough just to pick the winners of the games, let alone to be able to get the spreads. So here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on it. It's tapped slowly to short. Yamazaki gets it. He throws to first, and Suzuki is retired. Goes down as a groundout 6-3 to end the inning. So for the Seibu Seibu Lions in their half of the eighth, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now completed. It is the Seibu Seibu Lions trailing the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 7-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're glad you guys are with us. Hold tight, everybody.
Hey, guys, and thank you, Freddie. Steve coming back at you. That's right, Steve Rademacher. I would like to thank each and every one of you that is tuned into my channel. And today, let's do a little shout out for some other great channels you should be watching. There is WVogs 18. There's Big D's Sports and Collectibles. You all know another Hollis build. Why not Like Father, Like Son? That's a great duo that does some great stuff. It shows some great cards. And of course, the one and only Bud Stoney, creators of One of Ones. The creator of One of Ones, and they're all signed on the back. Bud Stoney, One of One, like this beautiful Robin Yount that he made for me. He made me another Robin Yount, this time mini, and a Christian Yelich mini. Great cards, and he does more than cards. We have darts of Hulk Hogan and many other things. So give them a look-see and give me another look-see. Subscribers are always welcome, and back to Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve. We appreciate you and your support of the channel, and the pitching parade is going to continue for the Seibu Seibu Lions. Nope, it is going to be the same pitcher, it looks like. No, we do have a new one. We have Tetsu Miyagawa. We saw him the other night, and he got absolutely torched against the Chibalote Marines, so he's going to get a chance to come in and work on his stuff. There's no better opportunity to do it when you are down in the ball game. So Miyagawa is taking over. He is the fifth pitcher used tonight by the Lions. The Lions have sure got some issues that they've got to sort out offensively and on the hill. Kind of feel bad for them in some regards. And so we are going to see, coming up to bat for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles in their half of the eighth, it's going to be Yoshiaki Watanabe, Jose Marmoleos, and Ryosuke Tatsumi. That is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 batters here. So Miyagawa taking over here in the eighth. As I mentioned before, it is a game that is a challenge. Cody Williams says, what's the score? That's what the ticker is for, Cody, across the bottom there. The first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1 to Watanabe. Watanabe tonight is 0 for 2. He hit a sac fly in the first inning and knocked in a run. He's popped to short and grounded to short his other 2 times up. And there's a fastball swung on and it's lifted foul down the left field line. And the count now is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So Nedibo Para says, am I streaming another game tonight? Unfortunately, no. My voice is barely holding up for this one. I apologize tonight. I am going to be The game tonight has been a fairly quick game, very well, for the most part, cleanly played. There's been no errors. There's a split finger pitch that misses down. The count is 1-2. Yeah, I think I did earlier, but yeah, the voice is barely holding up here. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Watanabe digs in. He's ready to face the right-hander. I find this fascinating, the way that the right-handed reliever here, Miyagawa, he stares up to the space. We saw this the other night. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. As he comes into the set position, he's looking right up into the skies. I don't know if he's saying a prayer before he throws the pitch, or if he... But here he is as he comes set. He checks the... First of all, he checks it, and then he looks right up to the sky. Now he checks the batter, and he kicks it. And there's a first pitch that is a fastball that is missing for a ball, and the count is 2-2. Big Ray says ASMR at Last Drafts Baseball. Yeah, not going to happen. Need some orange juice or some throat lozenges. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's fielded by Genda. He flips it to first, and that is going to retire Watanabe on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Jose Marmolejos. Marmolejos is 0 for 3 tonight. He struck out, he's popped to the catcher, and he has flown out to center field. This is not the start for his career in the NPB. Really, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have not had some success. Maybe since Zealous Wheeler's left, it's been a bit of a challenge for him. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is golfed to deep right center field. Moving back onto the warning track is the center fielder Suzuki, but he's got room. He's going to make the catch, and Marmolejos has sent that one a long way, right to the deepest part of the ballpark. He has gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to Ryosuke Tatsumi. Cody says he has the same problem with his throat right now. Yeah, a little bit raspy. I was out on a ball field and marking out instructions. It was pretty windy. We were right down by the ocean. It's a cold day, or is a cold wind off the ocean. There's a breaking ball that misses out and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Kick and deliver. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. It's actually a pinch. I thought we were going to have a pinch hitter moving in on deck, but Tatsumi is the one standing in. I'm not sure if Simitani is going to get a chance to bat. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. The count now is 2-1 to Tatsumi. As we mentioned, we'll post on the weekend here what we're going to look at to call on Friday or Saturday. Sometimes people ask us, what do you like to call? We're going to look for some good pitching matchups. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-2. I would like to get a stream with the Buffaloes if Yoshinobu Yamamoto is on the mound, but he's usually their Friday guy, or at least was last year. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to make that work. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And there's the pitch. It's a fastball. Take it for a called third strike. Tatsumi stood there like the house by the side of the road. I'm not sure what he was looking for. That pitch carved the plate in half. But he is gone for the third out of the inning. So there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 8 complete innings. It is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 7. Seibu Seibu Lions 2. Big Ray says, any chance for the Lions come back? I don't think so. I think I'd be shocked if that happened. We'll be back in just a minute.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. There is a pitching change. It is going to be the left-hander and the closer for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. It's Yuki Matsui coming into the game. Matsui is not entering into a save situation, but he is coming in to get some work. He hasn't had an opportunity for a few days, and so this is as good a time as any. So he is coming on to try to finish this game off with a 5-run lead. It is 7-2 for the Eagles here in the top of the 9th inning. It's going to be the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the batting order. That means it's going to be Suzuki Genda, Brian O'Grady, and Takia Nakamura. So Genda steps in. He is 0 for 3 tonight. And here comes the first pitch from Matsui. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. What I remember about Matsui last year is that he is one of those type of pitchers that is just one of those guys who all I can say is he battles and battles and battles, and he just really ratchets up the pitch counts. Just missing a little something to put the hitters away. Not enough maybe movement on the pitch, and there's a fastball that misses down and counts 1-1. Cody Williams says, are the Lions batting first? Yes. They are the road team tonight. Big Ray says, Matt Hollis with the great Sinatra cover, changing the words for his Padres. Check out his channel when you get a chance. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Thing is that sometimes when closers come in non-closing situations, they don't have the same mental preparedness. So I'll be curious to see how Matsui does here. But he's pretty automatic, normally speaking. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Matsui kicks, and he delivers. It's a breaking ball that just misses down. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Once this game is finished, we will take a look at the pitching matchups out of town as all the other games get going in about 90 minutes time. We'll recap this one for you as well. So here comes the 2-2 pitch from Matsui. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses down to Genda, and the count is now 3-2. I'm sure this is probably not what the manager wants or what Genda wants or what Matsui wants, that is. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Matsui ready to deliver. There's a fastball that swung on. It's fouled off right at home plate there, and that's going to keep the count at 3-2. So Big Ray asks, why does Matsui sound familiar? Cody Williams says, I'd love to have your best bet for the upcoming games. If you go to our YouTube page, you can see we did a little article today and we gave all of our picks for today's games. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. So if you go to our main page, what you do is you'll see across the top, there'll be like home, videos, community. If you click on the community tab, you're going to see that there is a article that we wrote. And you can see from there that we gave our selections for the game. Of course, we picked the Eagles to win this one, and I give you my comments and why I've chosen that. So here's the 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and Genda has got himself a leadoff walk here in the ninth inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Brian O'Grady. The only game I'm mixed on, we picked the Yomiuri Giants to beat the Hiroshima Carp tonight. As far as I'm concerned, that game is a toss-up. I think that was the only one that I had some challenges in my mind picking. It is a battle of 1 and 2 in the Central League. So hopefully that helps. And we appreciate, Cody, your support of our channel by subbing to our channel. So here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. And the count is now 1-0 to O'Grady. O'Grady tonight is officially 1 for 2. He singled in the first. He struck out and then he walked. Big Ray says, thought the only gambling that I do is when I go through the McDonald's drive-thru. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed by O'Grady, and the count goes to 1-1. The only thing is I do not eat McDonald's. It's not my Achilles heel, unfortunately. I have other demons that I do enjoy, but McDonald's is definitely not one of them. So here comes the 1-1 pitch from Matsui. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count's now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. There's no relation to the Hideki Matsui who hit in the big leagues. But the name is very much the same. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Grady waiting on the offering from the left-hander Matsui, and there's a fastball that misses down and away, and now the count is 3-1. So this game is far from dead yet, as Matsui is about ready to walk another batter here. So 3 balls and 1 strike to O'Grady with Takia Nakamura on deck. Now, they do need 5 runs to tie. There's still quite a ways to go, but this is not what you want to see from your closer who's coming in to get some work to try to stay sharp. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. And Matsui delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away behind home plate, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Matsui ready to go back to work. As he gets a new baseball, he rubs it up. So if Cody Williams is still listening, if you've gone over to the community tab and you have any questions, you only got probably a few minutes to go here. And here's a fastball, and that misses upstairs. And what do you know that Matsui has walked the first 2 batters he has faced here in the 9th inning? If John was still listening here, he'd be asking, how come we can't get the bullpen up? And this is what's going to drive managers crazy. You would like to hope and think that you're going to be able to get somebody up in the bullpen. Just taking a look to see the bullpen might have to offer. Alan Bozenitz was one of the players affected by COVID, so he's unavailable, one would expect. Be curious to see who else they have available out of the bullpen. So here comes Takia Nakamura, and the first pitch to him as a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's right off the mask of the home plate umpire. The home plate umpire has got a good chuckle out of that, but that ball was absolutely smoked. He took it flush, and in fact, it took the mask almost right off him. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakamura. If you've ever taken a pitch that's been fouled off your mask at about 90 miles an hour, it can straighten you up a little bit. So here comes the 0-1 pitch, and there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Cody says, I've got the Eagles 3.5, so you need some outs. One would think that this would be automatic here, but it's not turning out to look that way. Big Ray says, I couldn't think of any chips-like snacks that are as dangerous as the Mickey D's drive-thru. There is a fastball that misses down and away. Count is now 1-2. Big Ray says, I didn't realize that you can't look at it on iOS devices. I'll have to take a look at that, Big Ray, because maybe that's a way for them to keep the desktops and laptops relevant to YouTube. I don't know. There's the 1-2 pitch, and it's a changeup that misses outside. The count goes to 2-2. So this is 18 pitches now for Matsui, where he's only faced this is the 3rd batter he's going to face. I almost said when he came into the game, what would be the over-under of pitches he would throw in the inning? I would set that bar at 30. Yeah, definitely would be heating up in this situation. There's a fastball that is delivered. It's swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Nakamura on strikes here for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Ning Ting Wu. It was the 9th inning last night that Wu jumped on the scene as he hit a solo shot last night. Wu tonight is officially 0 for 2. He walked his last time up. He's hitting 250 now on the season. And so here comes the first pitch from Matsui. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0. Yeah, when your closer walks the first 2 batters in a 5-run lead, it's going to make you a little bit unnerved. That's for sure. Cody Williams is fist pumping for the double play ball. Absolutely. I would say that Wu runs okay. He doesn't run particularly great. There's a fastball that misses inside. Count is 2-0. Just doing a quick look on in the stat department here. I don't have it all quickly updated. There's 21 pitches so far for Matsui. Last update I've got, he's got 11 balls and 9 strikes. I think he's 12 balls and 9 strikes. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. It's bobbled by the first baseman. They flip it over to first. And Suzuki is able to get the runner as Matsui gets over in time. It goes down as a ground out, 3-1. At first, I thought they might have had a shot, at least at the fielder's choice at second. As we watch the replay, he gets down onto one of his knees. The ball squirted away from him. It looks like at the first baseman, Suzuki caught it in a sensitive spot. So with 2 outs, there's runners on second and third, and that's going to leave it all up to Jansen Witt. For Witt tonight, he is 0 for 3 each time he has flown out to center field. And some of it's been a little hard luck, as the last time the center fielder Tatsumi slammed into the wall, making the catch. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. He has been not just a little bit snake bitten, he's been a lot snake bitten. Big Ray says he can see it on his iPhone XR, but not on the old iPad. Interesting how that works. So here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled straight back. Witt was right on that pitch. He just missed it. It went straight back to the backstop. He just got a little underneath it, but he was right on time. So no balls and 2 strikes. Here we go. Tanzer Can says, is it possible to 9.5? Well, we're going to find out right here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Witt needs to get a base hit. Matsui kicks and delivers. It's a ball that's down in the dirt. The catcher, Simitani, blocks it. It squirts away from him, but the runners have to hold, and it's now going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cody Williams says 1 more strike. This is definitely one of those nights where the pitcher, being the closer here, is sure going to give the manager some sleepless nights. This is going to be pitch number 26 of the 9th inning. So Matsui gets the sign from his catcher. Low 24 says he also needs 9.5. Well, we're going to find out. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball down to the dirt, and the count now goes to 2-2. The way that Matsui's pitching, might be favoring your opportunity to get to that 9.5, but something has to give here. The pitching hasn't been very good. Jansen Witt at the plate has not had a lot of success so far this year. Only 1 hit for the season. Entered the game tonight hitting .071. And he has not improved on those numbers. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Matsui delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is hammered foul down the right field line. It's going to get into the seats. We saw that with the other night with the Marines. So Tanzer says, I don't understand. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. You need a base hit here. You can't get them. If you get a base hit here, you're going to be able to exceed that 9.5. But it all comes down to this. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Matsui kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded slowly to third. It's fielded over to first. It's in the dirt. It's picked by the first baseman, Suzuki. He hangs on, and that is going to do it. Oh, boy. You want to talk about a nail biter. For those guys there who had the 9.5, you did not get it. It is a ground out 5-3 by Witt. The 3rd out of the inning. So there were no runs in the inning. There were no hits. There were no errors. And 2 runners were left aboard. Your final score is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 7, the Saitama Seibu Lions 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap this one up in just a moment. We'll be back after this. Thanks again for all being here. Hold tight. We'll be right back.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole. A little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. First of all, I want to thank everybody for being a part of our stream tonight. It's a lot of fun when we have a big group. I don't know how I can manage if it got bigger. I certainly am very fortunate to have in these last couple of weeks between 20 and, well, almost 50 people in the chat at one time, regular. But I do thank everybody for being here and listening in and supporting our channel. So just a couple of things. We have the final score. I'll do a little recap here. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles got things going in the first inning with 3 runs. It was a walk to Nishikawa, a walk to Yamazaki. Samura drove in the first run with a single. Suzuki knocked another run in with a double and a sac fly by Watanabe. The score up 3-0 for the Golden Eagles. The Golden Eagles then scored another run in the Lions got 2 back in the 5th. The only runs they scored were back-to-back homers by Tanasaki and Kishi. They cut the lead to 3-2. And then Hiroki Nishikawa hit a home run in the 5th inning for Tohoku. Made the score 4-2. The rest of the scoring all happened in the 7th inning as the Golden Eagles had 3 runs on 4 hits that inning. They lead off single to Tatsumi. Then he was bunted over to second. Then Nishikawa singled. And then Asamura was intentionally walked. And then Shimouchi cleared the bases with a 3-run double. And that was where it stood. And so that is the final score. It's 7-2 for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Just a couple more things here. And that is we'll take a quick look at the starting pitchers from around the NPB. I'll give you that as well for the games later today. You've got the Yokohama Dana Bay Stars and the Hanshin Tigers going head-to-head. It is Kenta Ishida going for the Bay Stars. Masashi Ito takes to the hill for the Tigers. The Chinichi Dragons are sending Koji Fukutani to the hill to face Hirotashi Takanashi for the Yakult Swallows. The game that I think is the feature game, the Yomiuri Giants are playing the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. The Giants are 8-2. The Carp are 7-3. Christopher Mercedes, or CC Mercedes, goes for the Giants. Hiroki Takota goes for Hiroshima. The other games in the Pacific League see the Chibalote Marines sending Fumiya Motome to the hill for the Marines. Takayuki Kato counters for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. And then lastly, the Oryx Buffaloes play the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. It's Daiki Tajima going head-to-head against Yoshiwada. And those are your other games that will be taking place across the NPB. Once again, everybody, we do appreciate y'all for being here. Big Ray, Alexander Leggett, John Cardona, Nash, Cody Williams, Teddy Isabeau, everybody else that checked in. We thank you guys for stopping in tonight. We're glad you could be here with us. Once again, we'll post something up in the next couple of days. I'm not sure we're going to get to call anything tomorrow night or the day after because of the late starts. We'll have to make a decision on that. But we will be back in front of the mic on the Friday at 10 o'clock Pacific time, and the same thing on Saturday. That is on the West Coast. John Cardona asks, where is the link with the write-ups? If you go to our community page on the YouTube channel, once you go to our homepage, you'll see across the top, there's home, videos, community. Click on community. You'll see Nori Aoki, a photo of him. There is the write-up on what I'm predicting for tonight. So I'm 1 for 1. We got the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles right. Let's see how I do on the other 5. And when I wake up tomorrow, we'll post the results. Let's see how we did. All right, everybody, you've listened to another Last Raps Baseball video production. We appreciate y'all being here. Have yourselves a great night. We'll be on again on the flip side. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you on the flip side.